All right, I've missed a couple weeks of doing small towns. There's a couple different reasons for that. One, we've had fires up here in Oregon, and it's been pretty ugly. Some of the towns I wanted to go to down on the coast, like Cannon Beach, Seaside, things like that, they didn't catch fire or anything, but they had a few days when the wind was so bad and it was fire season. They actually shut off the electricity on a lot of the days I wanted to go, so things got put on hold and I skipped a few weeks. But today, I'm not even going to a town. I'm going to, I guess it's a neighborhood, but it's a park also, just outside of Portland, Oregon. On the hillside above Portland to the west, you have Forest Park. Forest Park is amazing. It's huge. It's one of the largest forested parks in the United States. The cool thing is, I got a bike to do it on, and it's not just your typical mountain bike. It's a electric mountain bike. Yeah, it's powered. It was sent to me by a company called Addmotor. They asked me to try it out and give my honest opinion. They didn't tell me anything. They said if it's, they just said, tell us how you like it. Okay, so I love a company that has enough confidence in their product where they don't tell you there's certain things you have to say. It's pretty cool though. It matches the car. It's on the roof right now. I think I screwed up though. I got a roof rack for it. I think that was a bad idea. I should have gone with the one. I don't have a trailer hitch on this, so I couldn't do the back one. It was a pain to wrestle that thing up there. I know I'm gonna scratch the hell out of my car getting down. Well, this is strange. I have never seen traffic on this road. I wonder what's up. It's got to be like an accident or something ahead of us.
A few minutes later.
Oh, it's the frickin' bus. So to the right of us is Washington Park. To the left, a little bit in there, is where Forest Park starts. Washington Park is where you're gonna find things like the Rose Garden and the zoo, the Japanese garden, things like that. It's kind of the touristy area. So Forest Park takes up a majority of the hillside that overlooks Portland, Oregon. The west side of Portland, I should say. That's where you'll find places like the Pearl District and downtown, Goose Hollow's on the west side of town. But Forest Park takes up a lot of land. It is exactly 5,172 acres. And most of that is forested. They do have a few housing communities in Forest Park, but a majority of it, I'd say about 75%, is just kind of wilderness. A lot of hiking trails, a lot of beauty. If you're looking at it from across the river, this is what it looks like. It's the hillside right there. You'd be surprised how many people up there you see running, hiking. Bird watching's really big up there. I haven't seen a lot of mountain biking, but you do see a whole lot of people riding the roads up in this area. So I'm sure you've all heard the horrible stories about Portland, and I'm sure most of you not from the area assume that the entire city is just filled with homeless. Yes, they do have a lot of homeless. That's a gimme. I'm not trying to act like we don't, but it's in certain areas. The area around Forest Park, not so much. That's why I'm driving around here. I'm just showing you it looks like a normal city, not a ton of homeless in this area. In recent months, and even the bad parts of Portland, the homeless are, they're getting the help they need. They're being moved to different, safer areas, things like that. There's a lot of progress going on, and this whole neighborhood that I'm showing you right now is a perfect example. On to Forest Park. So Forest Park is literally a forest park. This is real forest. These aren't trees that were planted to make a park. This is how it was. Some of the park is second growth, which means back in the 1800s they chopped some of this forest down and replanted it. But a lot of this is old growth. There's more than 70 miles of hiking trail in Forest Park. The longest trail is the Wildwood Trail, which is a total of 30 miles. 27 of that is in Forest Park, and 3 of it is in Washington Park. Now, over the decades, there's been some strange things that have happened in the park. They've had a couple people that have been murdered there. One guy was preying on, addicts and prostitutes, and he killed some of them, and he would dump them in the park. That was back in like 1999. Then back in 2003, a guy killed his ex-girlfriend on a Forest Park trail. Probably the most interesting of all of it was in 2004. Authorities found a 53-year-old man and his 12-year-old daughter living in the park in a tarp-covered structure stocked with encyclopedias for homeschooling. So he was being a good dad. He was just living in the forest with his daughter. They had been living undetected in the park for 4 years. There was a novel that came out that was sort of built around this story called Abandonment, and the novel was later adapted into a film called Leave No Trace. So right here is a perfect example when a good idea goes bad. I decided to use a wireless mic and tell you all about Forest Park and the bike that I rode today, which is this one right here. It's an Addmotor M550 P7 electric bike with a fat tire, and it's pretty good. Definitely made the day a lot more pleasurable. I covered a lot more ground and saw a lot more things. So this thing gets moving pretty good on the paths and everything. It's got the fat tires, so this is a fat tire bike. It's not as agile as, let's say, a regular mountain bike, but it's a lot of fun. And it goes through sand, goes through dirt, whatever you need without much effort. Now, I had wanted to do this at some like Cannon Beach and stuff like that, but we had been having fires recently, so they're all a mess. I mean, Cannon Beach didn't get burned down, but they were shutting off the power on the day I was going out there, things like that. So I ended up just coming out to tell you about Forest Park. In the next few weeks, if we have some decent weather, I will head out to Cannon Beach, and I'll bring the bike again too, show you some more footage. It's so quiet, it's hard to believe you're like a mile outside of a city. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Addmotor for sponsoring this video. If you're thinking about getting an e-bike, there's a link down below. They got something for everyone. All right, everyone, have a great day. Be nice to each other.